So, step 6, you are trucking along. So, I am so excited because if you have actually been going through the steps and you're really on step 6, and you did all the other stuff in the previous steps, you should already feel a shift in your life. You should already feel more connected. You should already feel more aligned. You should already feel connected with your purpose. So, if you haven't completed steps 1 through 6, I encourage you to go back and really do the work, pause the videos and do the exercises. They seem small, but they're significant. Step number 6, write this down. Step number 6 is to make flow mandatory. This is really simple and short, but I had to make it a separate step so you understand. Flow is not optional. It's not, oh, I didn't get a chance to flow in my gift today because something came up. Oh, I didn't get a chance to flow in my gift today because I had a family emergency and I had to run around or I was too tired. Listen, the same way people know not to call me when I'm at work because they know I work a typical 9 to 5 and I'm not available during those hours. The idea of me calling off work because I'm sleepy, that just doesn't happen unless I have enough PTO and I'm real sleepy, but I digress. What I'm saying is the idea of me having some frivolous reason be the reason that I don't show up to work doesn't happen, right? Because it's mandatory. We view it as mandatory. We know that it's a necessity that we do it. You have to flow and you have to make it mandatory. You need to schedule it in your calendar, block off the time so that nothing else can be scheduled during that 10 to 20 minutes that you dedicate to flow. And as you see the benefits from flow, and as you feel how much healing you get, you're going to increase the time to the point where you get up to like an hour in flow. But that 10 to 20 minutes, this is just a really short step. Just make it mandatory. Write a commitment to yourself that flow is mandatory because you understand the benefits, you understand the necessity, and you understand that everything that we have talked about so far, it integrates itself when you flow. None of these other steps work if you're not flowing in who God assigned you to be. All of the other 7 or 6 steps are null and void. They are ineffective if you don't flow consistently daily and who God created you to be. Think about it. How is life meaningful? How is life exciting? How is life motivating? How is life exhilarating? How can you possibly feel connected if you're disconnected from yourself? If you're disconnected from God, if you're disconnected from the one thing or the very things that He created you to do, how do you expect life to be anything other than unfulfilling if you're not doing the thing He specifically created you to do? Flow is mandatory, it's not optional. I just wanted to emphasize that on this step. Do whatever you have to do. Write it down in your calendar, block the time off, put your phone on do not disturb during that time. If you need to flow early in the morning before anyone is up so that you have less distractions, do that. Set your alarm for that. If you have quiet time in the evening when kids go to sleep and everyone is asleep, whatever the time is, set a specific time because when the time isn't like if you just say, I'm going to make sure I do it, but you don't set a specific time slot, it's really easy for other things to move into that time slot. So for step number 6, write down the specific time slot. So if it's going to be from 5 a.m. to 5:20, if it's going to be from 6 a.m. to 6:10, if it's going to be from 8 p.m. to whatever it is, write down that time slot right now. That's step number 6. Set your phone to do not disturb at the time slot you have set aside. Block off your calendar so nothing can be scheduled during that time. So that is step number 6. Step number 6 is to make flow mandatory. So there are 3 things I am assigning you to do right now. Right now, of course, I want you to write down step number 6 is to make flow mandatory. The second thing I want you to do, I want you to set your phone to go on do not disturb during that time slot. You wrote down this mandatory flow time. And I want you to right now block your calendar so that nothing can be scheduled during that time of mandatory flow between you and God. All right, moving on to step number 6. I'm sorry, step number 7. I will see you in the final video. You've come this far. I'm so proud of you. You should already feel relieved just from knowing what the steps are. They're so empowering and life changing when you walk in them. When you walk in them. So meet me at step 7. Let's wrap this up and get you flowing and the life, the destiny God has written on your heart. See you in video 7.